All right, bonjour, ladies and genitals. I'm here to bring you an extremely important update on the market. There's tons of money to be made, and so I made it my mission to help you out in achieving your goal of going to the moon, folks. I want to bring you not one, not two, but three gems that need to be on your radar. I'm also going to distill for you the most important things that you need to be aware of with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and mention some of the most important news stories going on with the market today. So folks, if you like the sound of that, I need you to do me a favor. You got to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because I heard recently that it was a crime to not stay up to date with the greatest cryptocurrency channel on YouTube, and I don't want you guys going to jail. So you have to like, subscribe, comment, share. So folks, without further ado, let's delve into the market. Let's begin before we delve into our low caps here. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum, because I see a lot of very interesting things that you need to be aware of. Folks, I want to begin by saying I called the Ethereum bottom. I bought the Ethereum bottom. I longed the Ethereum bottom. You have to stay tuned to this channel. We were in this diamond. I said if we broke down bearishly, this was my price target. This is, I think, where we're going to go. This is where I think we're going to find support. That's exactly where we fell to, exactly where we found support, exactly where I bought, exactly where I told people I was buying, and exactly where I longed. Now, folks, Ethereum has gotten above the critical level of 1750 to 1720. We can see constantly how 1720 to 1750 has been a bedrock of support for Ethereum. We're constantly forming a floor of support within this region, constantly a price reactive level. Everywhere you look, 1720, 1750. So we have gotten above that key level. Not only that, we have broken out bullishly from this micro wedge here. So now I believe we're forming this more macro wedge here, and I've been saying for days now, you have to stay tuned to this channel, folks. You follow our Twitter, link for that down in the description below. I was tweeting about this, saying if and when we break out bullishly out of this wedge, I think we see a $2,400, $2,600 Ethereum, depending where we break out in late April, early May, if we break out bullishly. Now, to see something like that, we need to start getting above some key levels. We need to get above this key level at just about $1,800. VPR, point of control, that's where the most amount of volume is being traded. That's where we're getting rejected off currently. If we can break above, I think we're going to tackle our wedge line here. If we can get above this wedge line, break out bullishly, and then tackle and get above 1875, this price reactive zone here, folks, I think Ethereum is flying. If we can get above 1875, I think it's just a matter of time before we retest all-time highs. And again, $2,400, $2,600 is my price target in late April, early May for Ethereum. Now, folks, Bitcoin's recovering. Good to see. If and when we can tackle this high here from back in February, I think we're retesting all-time highs. That's what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, folks, there's a major news story that you guys need to know about. Visa is partnering with Crypto.com to process transactions using USDC stablecoin. This is a giant deal. The fact that a legacy payment service like Visa, payment processor like Visa, is now accepting and will be running transactions through an Ethereum, an ERC20 stablecoin. Oof, folks, who is selling these dips? Holy, the market has never been more long-term, fundamentally strong now than ever, folks. We have EIP 1559, the Berlin hard fork, optimistic rollups coming out the next few months. Insanely bullish catalyst for Ethereum. We're getting institutional adoption for the first time ever. The global reserve currency, the US dollar, is being devalued into nothingness. Who on earth is selling Bitcoin and Ethereum right now? I really don't understand. While people are panic selling these dips, I was literally panic buying as much as I could. Because, folks, who gives a fuck about the short term? 24, 2600, folks. I think we see a 10K plus Ethereum this year. So I ain't selling these 5, 10%. Who gives a fuck? I think over the long term, I think we're probably gonna see well over 10K ETH this year. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I could be wrong. I'm just some dude on the internet. So, folks, I want to bring you, enough further ado, I want to bring you 3 crypto gems that you need to be aware of. Number 1, icon here, ICX. From my understanding, this is essentially a bridge that bridges private blockchains to public blockchains. That's essentially what it does. We can delve into some fancy technical terminology, but that's what it is from my best understanding. I love the chart pattern this is forming. massive rounded bottom from the previous cycle. We can see the previous cycle's all-time highs is right about $13. Folks, this is at, what's that? We're $2.37 right now. Folks, we are testing these all-time highs levels here at $2.50. If and when this thing gets above and holds above $2.50, see how we wicked above what we got rejected? If and when we can hold above $2.50, I think this thing's absolutely flying. This is forming a cup and handle. I think the minimum price target for something like this, just based off some super simple, super basic TA, whenever you form a cup and handle, you just take the height of the cup, you move it to the presumed breakout point. Could we see this thing go to $4.80? 100%. Could this thing do a 96, nearly 100% move to the upside? If and when we can hold above $2.50, I think it probably could. You know, maybe not overnight, maybe not the same day, maybe not even the same week, but within a month, within a quarter, I think it definitely could. So ICX, the technicals, the chart looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm not even like, this is purely just like a swing trade for me, folks. I'm very much looking into this as a swing trade. In fact, after this video, I might reallocate some funds to move into this thing. Especially, I mean, I have my alarm set right here. You can already see I have my alarm set. As soon as we get above and hold that, I'm going to either enter a long or reallocate some funds and move into this as a swing trade. Very, very interesting chart pattern. So, folks, moving on, this is a low capper that I want to bring you guys. And by the way, like, subscribe, comment, share. What are you doing not following this channel? It's a financial crime, and you guys aren't criminals, so you have to like, subscribe. Now, folks, lots of interesting stuff going on with here. First off, they're an NFT play. NFT plays are the craze right now. I'm pretty sure they're backed by aMillionortheMoon brands. Correct me. No, it doesn't seem like. I could be wrong on that. Okay, never mind. They're not. I'm not sure. Anyways, aMillionortheMoon brands is killing it in the NFT space. Yeah, so they're backed by Binance Labs, so they got some big backers here, which is good to see. So anything in the NFT space has been absolutely killing it. Now, the reason why I like this so much is because the technicals, the chart looks so gorgeous. We're forming a bull flag. So what a bull flag is, we have an impulse up, a downward moving channel. If we break out, we typically move the initial height of the first impulse. So something like this. So could we see anywhere from a $2.40 to $2.80, $2.90 cocoa? I think we could. 100% I think we could. Now, if we want to take a more conservative case, we take the height of the channel, move to the breakout point. Yeah, I think $2.10 is kind of like the minimum price target. Another interesting thing going on here, and I love that this happened right as recording. We broke out bullishly, fell back down, retested the original breakout point, and held it as support. Insanely, extremely bullish. And we're currently maintaining above my exact range that I was saying, I was going to say was the most relevant, and I am saying is the most relevant range. So, for this thing to see bullish continuation, we need to maintain above $1.60, $1.55. This is the VPVR point of control. Well, this is the VPVR point of control, but we have a lot of volume in this region right here. Very price reactive zone. We can see based off these 3 wicks, all this area here, $1.60. If this thing can hold above $1.60, I think $2, $2.10 is just a matter of time. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I think it's just a high probability that if we maintain above $1.60, $2.10 is not too far away. In fact, I reallocated some funds recently to move into this thing. It's a low capper. If I didn't already say that, let's look up the market cap. So Coco's, yeah, 66 mil. It's a low capper. Yeah, so that's what's going on with Coco's. You're welcome. Now, moving on to Unmarshall, folks. This is a project I'm insanely bullish on, insanely excited about. I've not been this bullish on a project since Super Farm, and folks, Super Farms did like a several 100x since its IDO. So we applied. So let me just explain what this is before I go on a rant here. Unmarshall is essentially, a lot of people like to say it's a competitor to the graph, but I don't think so. So the graph essentially indexes data for developers to gain access to easy, for developers to have easily accessible data for their decentralized applications. So Unmarshall is essentially that, but for DeFi. So they're basically indexing data for DeFi and developers. Very, very bullish on this thing. The graph has a market cap in the billions. And I think this thing could one day do something similar, a market cap in the high hundreds of millions, in the billions. Folks, this is launching with a market cap of around just under $1 million. I think it was 900,000 last time I checked. That's quite a few X's if this gets anywhere near to the graph one day over the long term. So I was shilling this to our VIP Discord members. I was telling people apply for the IDO, where you can get in at a hugely discounted price on PokerStarter. So this thing's listing on PokerStarter, and so we actually applied, and so we applied, and so I'm very, very bullish on this thing long term, folks. If you want to gain access to low cap gems that we're looking at before anyone else does, join our VIP Discord. You get access through our Patreon. Link to join our Patreon is down in the description below. Again, if you would have applied and if you could have gotten in, I think this is going to do 100x, folks. I don't know that for sure, but if you got in from the IDO, I think this is going to do 100x, because the IDO price is usually much, much cheaper than what it lists on Uniswap. So, if you didn't get in the IDO, if you didn't apply, if you weren't a part of our VIP Discord, and you missed out on this thing, fear not. This thing will be live on Uniswap on the 30th of March at 3 p.m. UTC. I, in fact, will be buying more on Marshall on the dip. So, how am I going to play this? Because I'm actually going to buy more of this thing, because I'm insanely bullish on this project. So, whenever things launch on Uniswap after like an IDO, they almost always have this massive pump and then a dump. So, the approach that I'm taking, and that I would suggest you take, is wait on the sidelines, let this thing cool down a bit. Don't just immediately ape in. Watch the price action. Wait for a pullback. If you see a pullback, if you see a dump, if you see a correction, maybe then's a better time. Not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's literally what I'll be doing. Like with Superfarm, we were so bullish on it. We got in literally as soon as it got listed on Uniswap, and we did buy the top, and then we dollar cost averaged into like every dip we could, and Superfarm's done like more than a 2x for us, and I think on Marshall is going to be the next one that does very well for us. So with on Marshall, I'm going to be waiting on the sidelines. I really just want to get exposure to this, because I'm so bullish on this project over the long term, but I'm going to try my hardest to not ape in immediately. I'm going to wait on the sidelines. We'll have to wait half an hour, an hour. I'm just going to wait for a pullback, and then buy into on Marshall on the 30th once it gets listed on Uniswap. So folks, these are 3 gorgeous projects that should be on your radar if you want access to more of the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency news and analysis. And in fact, if Ethereum gets above $1,800, I'm entering along. Then you gotta stay tuned to this channel. Like, subscribe, comment, share, hit that bell icon notified of new uploads as well. Folks, join our VIP Discord. You get access to these low cap gems. If you would have been in our VIP Discord, you could have applied for the public whitelist lottery, and you could have gotten in on Marshall at 17 cents, because that was the price that people got in the IDO, 17 cents, and who knows what the thing's going to be at. I'd be very surprised if this thing didn't, on the 30th, reach at least $1. Again, I don't know that for sure. None of this is a guarantee, but I think this thing's going to do very well over the long term. And again, I'm going to be buying the dip on this thing once it gets listed on Uniswap. So join our Patreon, link for that down in the description below. We highly appreciate anyone who helps us out in whatever way they can. As well, folks, if you want to know where I find, low cap gems such as this, one of the resources, one of the tools in our toolbox that we use to help inform some of our research and our thought process is Token Metrics. Folks, Token Metrics is an AI-fueled price predictions and portfolio suggestions platform. They have very helpful code reviews, and they also bring you low cap gems that their AI thinks is going to do very well. And one of those was Coco's over here. I took a look at the chart. I liked it myself. It was forming a bull flag. We broke out bullishly. We're retesting it, so I brought it to you guys. But folks, if you want to gain access to that tool yourself, it's not, Token Metrics isn't the end all be all, but it's a very helpful, powerful tool. And if you can spare it, we highly recommend it. Link to join Token Metrics is down in the description below. I believe there's a 10% off code if you sign up with our link, but everything's down in the description below. If folks, Token Metrics, they're going to be increasing their prices, I believe, the end of April, because they're going to release even more functionality to their platform. So if you get in before then, you'll be grandfathered in at the cheaper prices. So, folks, if you're on the fence thinking about getting into Token Metrics, they're going to raise their prices sometime in April, from what I'm hearing. So if you want to get in and get grandfathered in at cheaper prices and get access to low cap gems such as these, we highly recommend Token Metrics. Link down in the description. All right, folks, I've been rambling quite long enough. I want to thank every one of you for watching, for supporting us. Until next time, take care, folks.